Fair working conditions and sustainable action don't just cost money. They are, in fact, the guarantee for highest quality. Made in Asia or made in Europe, the supply chain in uncertain times. Why invest in the quality of production sites?
We see within the industry things that you absolutely would not see in other industries. So we see brands sitting around the same table. We see them sharing their supplier lists. You know, every brand is facing the same problems, the same challenges. And what the EOG does is it actually provides this platform for pre-competitive collaboration.
I have no doubt that cooperation between brands has brought benefits for the consumer and improvements for working conditions in factories. And I have no doubt that collaboration will be essential to mitigate climate change.
Collaboration with other brands is not only essential to reaching the goals, it can also be quite fun. While our product people are looking for innovative solutions for a shoe, very individually, very much related to the brand, we're looking for common solutions with our competitors. And that is fun.
You know, we don't want the suppliers to think that the brands are kind of ganging up on them. And we're very clear in our communications with any suppliers during any projects that this is supportive. This is a carrot and not a stick.
我们一般的那个新的供应商、新的工厂，我们先去参观了解，然后他们主要生产的产品，那个他们的工作环境，还有工厂的环境，工厂的这个生产安全有没有达到我们的要求？如果可以的话，那我们就把这些信息就反馈给我们的公司，然后就看这个供应商和工厂能不能生产我们的产品。
On a product level, one of the things that people are looking at is how do you build up the cost of the product. So how do you understand within the product what percentage of that or what part of that is the workers' wages, and how do you make sure that that is protected when you go into negotiation with your suppliers, because there's always negotiation in business transactions, right? But how do you know when you're in the room making those negotiations that you're not negotiating into the workers' wages?
It's definitely not a tag, fair wear membership, because it would be difficult to have, let's say, a label, because if you're going to a factory, check one day, you cannot say anything how it is on the other day. So you cannot, let's say, approve something on a label or a tag.
It is only an evidence of the fact that we are seriously committed to improving conditions in the factories.
We know in the garment industry, we know in the auto industry that there is still a lot to improve. And the fair wear membership says something, well, I'm working every day to make sure that the working conditions are improved.
Big part of that is related to regulations, right? To manage your risk against regulations and make sure you're complying with regulations. Understanding your supply chain and managing your supply chain in a good way helps to manage those risks.
是的，我们公司参加了那个FWF 基金会，我们都有这个正规的这个验厂，每个工厂的话，我们都要去看。工厂的这个车间，它的这个工作环境工人的工资有没有达到要求，加班是否超时然后他们的工人的这个健康安全是否得到保障。
Often a lot of the CSR stuff in factories is about having good management systems, about understanding processes, and that's kind of the same whether you're talking about quality, whether you're talking about setting up workers' payment systems, HR systems in the factories. So often if they're good at one piece of the puzzle, they'll be good at the rest.
Yeah, the saying is, wie bepaalt betaalt. So it is, who pays has the power to decide.
Don't you think that workers that are doing well will make quality products? It is unrealistic to think that somebody who's making something can do it if he's not doing well. We're convinced that if we do work with the factories to make working conditions good, then they will make quality products. I think it makes sense, don't you?
So, and there, if you're buying something, we are saying, make sure that you buy it responsible. Make sure that in your buying decision, you are including the situation of the workers.
We need to see more CSR representation at a board level. This is something that we don't see very often. So we need to see kind of a more solidifying of CSR in the business strategy and in the business structure.
In an ideal world where, of course, human rights are respected and where people who are working in the garment industry, who are making our clothes, they live under good circumstances, under respectful circumstances. There you see like, hey, they earn a wage, which is they can actually live from, they work in a healthy environment, and the working conditions are respected. So that's actually what we want to go for and what the goal of our organization is. And in that world, of course, you can say our organization, Fair Wear Foundation, would no longer be necessary.
It is still about selling products, but at the same time, brands are looking for new techniques, new designs, and new raw materials to preserve nature.
Das Wichtigste bei uns ist einfach, dass wir versuchen, Lösungen zu bauen, Jacken zu bauen, die lange halten, die möglichst lange im Enduse bleiben, die man dann auch letztendlich reparieren kann. Das ist auch eine ganz wichtige Komponente, dass wir auch hier investieren, um einfach sicherzustellen, dass diese Jacken möglichst lange einfach im Enduse bleiben.
Since 2017, the European Outdoor Group has had a single-use plastics group. This has already standardised the polymer used in all polybags throughout the industry, and this encourages commercial recycling.
I think that most of all we have to get used to the fact, thinking about, making the sustainable transformation and moving into a low carbon economy. This won't be just like an added bonus.
There are many groups working together to look at climate change, to measure carbon footprint, and to look for solutions. Working together will be the only way that we can bring forward improvements to the carbon footprint of manufacturing.
It will take sacrifice, it will cost money, but of course there are upsides in this. One side is if you spend resources more efficiently, it means that costs can be lower. And also, from a lifestyle perspective, a lifestyle of consuming less fossil energy doesn't necessarily mean a less quality of life. And when we try to move away from oil, we go into bio-based materials. And then that's only really an advantage. Then this kind of whole thing opens up that we need to look at where does this bio-based material come from? Is it grown in a sustainable way? And is that also with people in the supply chain that have good conditions? So I think it's this complexity. You can't just care about the performance, durability, and price of a product. You have to open and take in many more aspects of it.
Ja, Hanf bietet in dieser Hinsicht wirklich ein Lernfeld, weil eben Hanf nicht nur eine Faser ist, sondern ein nachwachsender Rohstoff, der seine Wichtigkeit vom Anfang an mit sich bringt, also als Pflanze, als Kulturpflanze. Wenn wir diese Idee weiterspielen, haben wir auch die Möglichkeit, das Material hier wieder wachsen zu sehen und es auch direkt vor Ort mit einer neuen Wertschöpfungskette umzusetzen.